SMT Nation, we back. We're going to be talking about T-Mobile in this video, fresh off the heels of a major quarter in which T-Mobile had tons of positive things to talk about on the earnings report. And I will say, so many strengths, so many things that they did well, that they definitely made sure to, put forward in their presentation to investors and ongoers alike. Okay, so I want to talk about that in today's video, but I want to mention there's one thing that's really preventing them from taking off and becoming a serious contender in a certain respect or aspect. Okay, so this is not a knock on T-Mobile in any way. I think they're doing exactly what they should be doing for their company. I think CEO Mike Sievert has pushed all the right buttons for the growth of the company. There are a couple of things that you could poke holes in, and I think part of that is in the financials. Okay, so what I mean by this is very simple. T-Mobile, we're seeing 7% increase year over year in service revenue. We're seeing merger synergies accelerate. We're seeing improved EBITDA. Free cash flow is increasing year over year. I think it was like a 30% year over year increase. The investment grade is now a buy at like all major agencies. They're doing share buybacks. The stock is growing. It's improving. Their position is improved. ARPU increased 2% year over year. They're anticipating that to continue through the rest of the year. The ARPA also increased by a similar amount, 2 to 3%. There's so many good things about the financials. You're probably wondering, what do I mean then? How is it possible that there is any negative to this? And it's actually pretty simple. The sequential growth in service revenue increased by only $53 million. So the reason why I want to bring this up is AT&T's service revenue increase was $333 million. Verizon's was $494 million. That is a huge disparity, folks. AT&T and Verizon did something during this quarter, the last two quarters actually, that manifest themselves in this number. They raised prices. They hit a large number of their consumers with legacy plans and older plans with an additional economic adjustment fee, a price raise, price increase, fee increase, whatever. And it showed in the profitability and the margins. The service revenues increased substantially and T-Mobile's didn't. So, and that's the bottom line. That's what this all boils down to. The fact that Verizon only lost 100 and some odd thousand customers, the fact that AT&T didn't lose customers, they grew 700 and some odd thousand net adds, and they grew their revenues even after raises and spikes in their pricing, tells us something. T-Mobile's the only carrier that hasn't been able to raise prices, and that's because of the merger agreement. And because they haven't been able to raise pricing, they're not seeing the service revenue increase that their competitors are. So with the service revenue growth for AT&T being like 5.6% increase, T-Mobile's is still respectable at 4.7%, and Verizon was at 3%. So you'd say, oh, Verizon is in the worst position. They lost customers and still increased their service revenue growth by 3%. You see what I'm saying, folks? That's what I mean by the financials are why you still see investors in Verizon stock and why you still see investors in AT&T stock. You would think, oh, they're doing awful. Look at the debt and all this. But the stocks are not abandoned. People are still buying those stocks and they've got dividends and other things. And I do agree. I think like T-Mobile stock, when you look at its value in the marketplace, it is valuable. Like there's upside too. You've got investment firms looking at it as a $200 stock. I think they're currently trading in the 140s, right? So there's still room for the investor to win on the T-Mobile side. I'm not saying that, but clearly there is one angle of this where T-Mobile can fix and adjust themselves when it comes to the financials and the investor side. Again, I still think that T-Mobile is doing all the right things for the company. I do. I think Mike Sievert has pushed all the right buttons. I'm just saying, as we approach the 3-year anniversary of the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, this is probably the last thing that T-Mobile needs to address, right? I mean, they keep screaming the uncarrier this, the uncarrier that. I think at some point they're looking at this like they could really pull this lever here and really change things for investors. And then I think even more of the, you I don't want to say like the institutional investor, but maybe that's who it is, sinks their teeth into the T-Mobile stock. I don't know. But everything else has been fantastic. That's the only thing I could think of. Out of all the things going on at T-Mobile when it comes to like network and, most of those financials and the retail side and churn rate, all that is fantastic. This is really the last lever to pull, right? And they did a little bit of addressing this by the share buybacks. I think they said that they bought back like 4.9 million shares, and that shows you that, from here on out, I mean, this is what they're going to be focusing on. So I don't know if this is a bit of a prediction video, but I think they're going to address this around the spring, Q2 of next year. I think they're going to be looking at this a little bit. Maybe there's price hikes. Maybe there's price restructuring at the T-Mobile side moving forward. Q2, Q3 of next year. We'll see. It's going to be 3 years after the merger. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of my commentary? What do you think about the angle? And then what do you think they do moving into the middle of the year next year, 2023? 3-year anniversary of the merger. You believe it's been 3 years. And here we are. A much stronger T-Mobile for sure. Big quarter for them. Just something to think about. Just some food for thought. Comment down below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links in the description for my Twitter, my Gmail for all business inquiries, and my Patreon page if you want to support us and get all this additional access, extra videos, exclusive content, and early access stuff, as well as you can become a member here on the YouTube side. Hit that join button, and then you can get that same type of access there. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.